Okay, hi everybody. We've just gone live, and yes, you're watching the Purposeful Business live stream with myself today, Lucille Divine. And as always, these programs have been designed and developed for you, the entrepreneur or influencer, not only to empower and educate you, but to inspire you and to motivate you. So the guests that I have on the show normally share their insights, their steps or their formula to success. And that's where you can definitely gain. So all of these shows are really interactive, and it's always best to be a part of the show. And the way that you do that is by first just letting us know who you are in the comment section below. And also you can go ahead and ask questions as well. So during the actual live stream, if there's anything that you would like to ask my guests, you're more than welcome to. And just pop that question into the comment section below. The other thing is, if you find value within these particular shows, especially for today, you're going to actually find a lot of golden nuggets that my guest is going to share with you today, especially around business and how to grow it using modern day tech. Then go ahead and share this video by pushing on that share icon, or you can send it directly to a friend by sharing it and selecting send to messenger on Facebook. And even on YouTube, you can just grab the vanity URL and go and share it with friends or colleagues or people that you know that need this information to help their business scale and grow. And again, just support one another. If you feel you resonate with anyone that asks a question, or you resonate with my guests that I have, please go ahead and follow them. Let's support one another. That's what the show is all about too. All right, so today we have Cassidy Franks, who's online with us. And today we're going to talk about business in your pocket. So I just want to give you a little bit of a backstory because I think Cassidy is a phenomenal woman entrepreneur. She's got a couple of businesses that she's growing from scratch. And not only that, she's very cleverly actually used technology. So she uses her mobile, and sometimes when she'll share her story and her journey of how she even used her mobile phone to communicate with customers. So in this day and age, especially in Web 4.0, what is happening more and more is that these types of technology, they're becoming a part or an extension of who we are. So we're going to delve into this and see how exactly we can start to use this as entrepreneurs. So a very warm welcome to you, Cassidy. Thank you for joining the show.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, Lucille. So good to be here.
Oh, excellent. I'm so glad. You know, it's been a while since we chatted, and I kind of miss you. I'm not going to lie. Because we're always communicating, whether it's on email or WhatsApp or whatever. So, yeah, it's such a pleasure to have you on board. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you again for having
me. All right,
so there's like a little delay. Sorry.
It's a bit of a delay. I can see. All right. Work with that. We'll work with that. Don't worry. All right. So I wanted to start off, first of all, and ask you about your journey and really, really kind of uncovering that you could use pocket technology, which is your mobile. I know you did a story with me once before where you were traveling overseas and you had an event that you were running, but you weren't at the event. Tell us more about how you actually used smart technology and how does this work for you in your business?
Well, exactly that, Lucille. So, I mean, we all want to have as entrepreneurs, we want to run our business, but we also want to have some time off. You know, like I was actually just talking about it yesterday. I haven't had a holiday in 3 years, and it's gone so quickly. You just forget. So, making use of Wi-Fi and your mobile phone is just the way to go these days. So, I had quite a few events actually that were coming up, and it kind of coincided with our dates that we were going overseas. And we had set the dates to actually be away for about 2.5 or 3 months because I thought, you know what, if we're going to go overseas, let's just make the most of our time. If I'm able to work from there, let's try it. Let's see how it goes. And it was so incredible. So I had events that I worked on. Basically, I did everything before we left. Sorted our budgets, got everything sorted, did briefs, logistics, everything. And I basically just hired someone from our team just to be there on the day and just to make sure everything ran the way it should. But basically that was it, which was amazing. So as we landed in Bangkok, I was on my phone checking, okay, cool, send me pictures. I want to see how the layout looks. No, move this here, move that there. And kind of using Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi is so much more accessible in other countries than it is in our own country, unfortunately. So it's so much easier actually, because you can be walking down the street and there's Wi-Fi in all the main streets in the major cities all over the world. So it made things so much easier. It was very daunting at first because obviously the time difference. So that's something that I needed to keep in mind all the time, and checking up and just being the kind of person that I am. I like to know what's happening, like blow by blow, you know. If something went wrong, tell me and let me know the solution, and then I'm fine. But it was actually so liberating to be on a different continent and still be managing an event, still be setting up interviews, doing PR, still scheduling things for clients and sending out reports, and still getting, you know, suntan and having a beer on the side and just making the most of life. It was absolutely amazing. And it was incredible to get that opportunity to get that chance to do that.
Wow. You know, it also, as you're talking, because I think it's so important, you know, when we, especially as entrepreneurs, because we 9 times out of 10, we don't take holidays. And the fact that you can use your mobile to connect, and it's like a business in your pocket, wherever you are in the world, that you can quickly connect, and not only that, actually find the time to really communicate, not only with your clients, but with your colleagues as well. I think that is phenomenal. I also want to just stress in the fact, and I must admit that when you do travel, and even in airports, the Wi-Fi is so seamless when it's overseas, as opposed to South Africa. We're very, very throttled here. And 9 times out of 10, you know, when we are using the internet, even here in this area, I battle because there's so many businesses that are connecting it at once. That sometimes I do get a very bad lagging signal, and no matter what I do, it never ever is seamless. So yes, I do believe that here in South Africa, we're not as spoilt as the rest of the world. Hopefully this starts to change now that we've decided to actually become more digital. So I want us to talk about not only the fact how you connected and you were traveling in Bangkok. Yes, there was a time difference, but how effective it was to have someone send you images of the event that you were putting together, and you giving the thumbs up. And it's almost that you can use these tools in that way. So tell me, how stressful was that, Cassidy? Be honest.
It actually wasn't. You know, I put a lot of sweat and tears and blood into all the events before we left to make sure that kind of everything was covered. All the suppliers knew what was going. All of them knew that I was not going to be there. I made sure that, you know, everyone had been paid. Everyone knew the setup, the hotel where it was actually taking place, and they also knew that I wasn't going to be there. This other person would be there from the team, and this is what they should expect. And if they had any questions, let's do it now. We had like many meetings about it. I walked through it, did the mini layout, all of those things. And it actually really wasn't that stressful because I put in all that work beforehand, and I made sure that everyone had everyone's contact numbers, the running orders, the logistics. I kind of planned for the worst case scenario just to be 100% like prepared. And I missed it because I love being there and I love seeing everything come together. That's the best part of any event. But also being able to just let go and know that it's taken care of and that I don't have to be there was also a really cool feeling. that stamp of approval, like, okay, so I don't have to be everywhere all of the time.
Oh, that's beautiful because again, it is that extension and it gives you the space to maneuver and do the things that you need to do very quickly and effectively when you use mobile, which is awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, I want to talk about the mindset of an entrepreneur when we're using these kinds of technologies. What do you think are the main things that not only are benefits, but can help you, that add value to your business when you're using smart technology like this?
Oh my goodness, there's so many things. Like obviously social media is like number one. And just being, there's such a fine line because a lot of entrepreneurs don't like to post pictures of themselves and they'll only maybe do, pictures of the business or it's pictures of their product but for me, I like to show a little bit of a personal angle as well. So obviously it's up to everyone has their own preference, but I feel like showing what you are about and also that you're able to have fun and it's not just about work, or it's not just about this one product is also amazing. But at the same time, I like that other people are able to talk about you and tag you and then share it, which also shows that it's not just, what is that saying where you work hard in silence and let the work speak volumes or something along those lines. So it's also nice to have business being spoken about through other people's posts or TikTok videos. TikTok's become like the biggest thing now. So all of these things, I think that's really cool. And just using technology in that way. And obviously with boosting and things like that, people can boost to their heart's content, but that doesn't mean that you're going to get business. You still need to actually, you can spend 1,000 rand on boosts and ads, but if people don't actually believe in your product or they don't like what you're offering and you're not offering an actual authentic product or authentic service and being authentic to yourself, it's very difficult, I think, for people to want for you to be involved in anything that they do. So I think that's really important as well.
Yeah. Oh, you've touched on something very valuable there, and it is about value. It's something we talk often about on the rise of the new media with Brett Field, and that's one of the main keys. You can offer, especially if you're on TikTok or Facebook or Twitter or Insta or whatever. It's what you offer and what you share with your audience that really, really matters. And that's what another thing that I found is that sometimes it's really kind of aligning yourself, especially with that entrepreneurial mindset, to actually offer value for people that are following you. Because I find, especially now in the digital age and after this lock, people are very numb with regards to what is happening out online. They're always looking for something new. And I think that's why TikTok has also been quite a feature, because there's a lot of entertainment on there as well as news and other elements that you can follow. So yeah, I 100% agree with you when it comes to that, Cassidy. What things would you say that an entrepreneur, especially when we talk about mindset and using technology, what are the other benefits that you believe this brings to your actual growing or scaling your business?
Well, I think that also, there are other companies and other entrepreneurs that will be doing what you do. There will be many others, but it's also important to share what they do. Don't hate on them because they're doing the same thing. Make sure that you're offering that authentic service, that authentic offering, and then support other entrepreneurs. So by supporting them also online, using your mobile phone, showing them love as well, also opens up other avenues, because their viewers might see you and might say, oh, but you offer something that they offer the same thing, but yours is a little bit different, or yours is a little bit more personal, or it's, I don't know, just something along those lines. And it's something that they can maybe resonate with more than they do with another entrepreneur. But it's so important, I feel, to support other entrepreneurs, especially on their social media pages. We all know how hard it's been, especially now with COVID-19. And it's so important to help each other, to support each other wherever we can. And if if another entrepreneur has an issue with something or they don't know how to do something, they shouldn't feel embarrassed to ask another entrepreneur to say, look, how do you, I've asked you, Lucille, I've asked you like, okay, I don't know how to do this. What do you think of this? And but I think it's also a different thing with cities. Like I feel like in Cape Town, it's very different to how it is in Joburg. So I'm Cape Town, you're Joburg, but I feel like the mindsets are very different as well. So where I would be very happy to go to someone and say, look, I don't know how to do this. Can you maybe teach me or tell me how you did it or something along those lines, or send me a link and I'll like go through it myself. People feel so ashamed and so shy and they don't want you to know, oh, I don't know how to do that. And or if you do ask them, they might go and blast it on social media and be like, oh, she asked me this, she doesn't know what she's doing in her business, or so it's so important to share the love and don't hate on one another. Like we all need to make money. We're all in this to enjoy what we do and make the most of it and be able to go on holiday and work from our phones as much as we can. That's what we all want to do, inevitably, I'm sure. So, like, there's not. I don't understand why it's so difficult. But in Cape Town, I find like a lot of entrepreneurs really struggle with things like that.
Yeah, that's such a shame. And I think that's also one of the reasons why I started the show. And it is about just sharing that love. I love the way that you put that, Custody, because it's so true. Your knowledge is very different from my knowledge. And there's often times when I've also asked you for help or guidance and assistance or whatever the case may be. And, we have this open relationship where it is a to and fro. And I think that is key. And I think that's exactly what you're saying. So again, I agree with you. What I've also found is, just if I can take our relationship as an example, is I met with you initially, we had this conversation, and then you opened me up to your network. So again, a collaboration took one more step. It's exactly what social media does, but it's on a personal level. And the more we can support one another in business, I believe the more we can collaborate with one another, the better off everybody will be. Because especially right now, there's so many businesses that were in crisis, and the different sectors and industries. And one of the industries is the food and beverage industry. I know that a lot of businesses had to close their doors, and it was only because they had either a network or something that they restarted something. Although they might have let go of the actual store or their mall space, they've restarted something from home and they're going to be building it from the ground up. So it's so important. And if you are listening to this and you happen to be in Cape Town, please don't be shy. You must support one another. This is what happens basically in Johannesburg. And, whether we are kind of shopping in the grocery store or whether we are walking in the street and someone hands us something, there's always an opportunity to try and support, even if you just refer someone's business. This is a big thing. Okay, so those are fantastic points for that, Cassidy, because this really, really does help. I want to shift a little bit and I want to talk a little bit about the gig economy. What's your understanding with regards to the gig economy and what's happening right now?
Well, my understanding is obviously that it's, independent contractors, that get hired by businesses or organizations I feel like it can be a short-term or a long-term basis. It all depends on the commitment that they have with the organization. But I feel like that the gig economy specifically leans more towards, like performing arts, or it's musicians, or even the events industry. I feel like I feel that's definitely where it leans more towards, and that's kind of my understanding around it. So independent contractors, MCs, DJs, even dancers, making the most of these ballroom dancers, break dancers, all of them, they all fall under that as well. Am I on the right track? Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, the gig economy started in that kind of thing. It is definitely contract work, and then it's based on your performance. That is how you get paid. It's the value that you bring, and then that kind of gets equalized on the payment that you have. The other thing about gig economy at the moment, because there has been a huge shift, there's a couple of digital spaces that you can go to, like elance.com, guru.com. There's someone local here called nomad.com as well. And that's a space where if you are an admin or a VA, a virtual assistant or a personal assistant, and you're looking for contracted work, that is absolutely a space that you would go and populate and offer your services. So yeah, that's exactly it, Cassidy. And I think, you know, talking from your line of work, because I know that you're in the entertainment arena, and emceeing is contract work because you don't work permanently for them. You go through, you do the gig, and you get paid for your time or what you deliver as that service when you're there. Yes, that is exactly it. Yeah, so how do you think the gig economy is going to be used? I mean, let's talk about your business specifically. CP Starts, because that's where I want you to hone in. That's your expertise. How do you think going forward, how is smart technology going to help you to actually get those gigs?
Well, it's quite interesting because I feel like a lot of people are kind of getting back to normal. So, you know, they're going to work, they're going to restaurants, they're going to dinners. But when it comes to interacting in a bigger space, they're still very wary about that. And they're still, wanting to rather do it virtually or, you know, look at things in a different way, or maybe meet up in smaller groups with each of those different people from the larger group. Yeah. So what we've actually been working on, we've been working on some virtual ideas around how to use our skills and use our equipment that's literally standing in the warehouse not being used at the moment for the past 6-7 months. How can we make use of it but still be safe and still entertain people and still have some sort of a connection on that level? So we've come up with things like we've been doing quiz nights. So we'll do themed night. I MC it, and Paul, my husband, he DJs, and I'm the quiz master, and we go through quiz. We send out a newsletter. We say we want to join the quiz, RSVP here, and then we have the link, and we link up, say, on a Thursday or Friday at about 5 or 6 o'clock. And everyone links up on Google Hangout or Zoom, whichever platform that they would prefer. We kind of just make use of whatever's easiest for everybody. And then Paul would play music in the beginning, and everyone will get their drinks, get your snacks or whatever it is. And then the games would start in 30 minutes, and then we'd start the games. Paul then has, these, when you get a question right in the quiz, and it's like ding, 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 ding. Or if you get it wrong, it's like one of those. So he puts in the thing, and then we have a halftime break, and everyone goes to get more drinks or go to the loo or have a smoke break, and then Paul will play like another mix, and they're all themed. So say, for instance, one quiz night would be around the 80s, and the next one will be the 90s and maybe 90s music and 90s movies. And then we kind of just try and make it fun. So we started testing it with our friends, obviously, see how it works, and they'll be honest. They're the most honest people. So they then shared their feedback, and we kind of work from there. So we started doing that, and also just doing little, Paul's been doing Mixcloud mixes. So for midweek Wednesdays, he does like a mix, and it's like specific genres that he then shares on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And I've kind of stepped back. So I haven't been doing many obviously any event things or MC things in that regard. I focus more on Jenny and Custard for me personally, and he's kind of taken on the more DJing and CP sounds on the social media side of things. So that's something that we started doing, and we found that people really enjoy it. Our family really enjoys it, especially the music part of things. But it's also kind of opened up with smaller weddings. So some of our venues that we work with have started implementing these drive-through drive-in weddings. So all the cars kind of park in a half moon, and the couple and the priest or whoever will be marrying them kind of stands in the middle, and everyone is in their vehicles, all safe and everything. And there we have two speakers outside, and they kind of can at least hear and be part of the wedding ceremony in some form and way. And then they still kind of have a little bit together, because I mean, people are having 50 people at weddings now, so that's something that we see picking up quite a bit. So we're sharing stuff like that more. So that's the kind of thing we've been trying to do. We didn't want to do, a lot of DJs have been doing live mixes, and it's really cool. I love it. It's a great vibe. But again, we didn't want to fall into the same thing. Don't do the same thing that everyone else is doing. We like to offer something different, something more personal, something more direct. So that's where the quiz nights came in, and we really, really enjoy it.
Well, I think that the quiz nights is absolutely a stunning idea. I'm not going to lie, because again, it just gets people thinking, it gets people interactive and engaging. And not only that you actually are offering like an event that you have on virtually, where you have a little bit of music, and there is this mix that you can also dance to and things like that. I think that's phenomenal. Again, I'm just, which I put up on the screen, is that you're very smart with regards to how you've done this. So you've used technology to grow your business, and you haven't thought of the mundane thing that everybody else is doing. You've kind of flipped it 360 and then tried something different, which is now appreciated out in the market. And I think that's so important. That's beautiful. It's very, very smart, Cassidy. Well done. Okay, I do see there's a couple of people jumping on and off.
Oh, sorry. I was saying we should set up a time, and you and your family, we can do a whole quiz night. We can talk about that later.
Yeah, that's an excellent plan. For those of you who are interested, because Cassidy is a phenomenal entertainer, and I don't know where she comes up with all of these ideas. I'm going to get you to introduce all of your businesses, by the way, shortly, because I'd like people to understand the scope of what you do, because you're amazing. That's why I love interviewing you as well. But I do see that we've got a couple of people jumping on and off. If you are watching, please go ahead and just say hi in the comment section below. If you want to ask any questions about using smart technology to actually grow or scale your business, or to think differently. Cassidy said she didn't want to go into mainstream or what everybody else is doing. So they actually sat down and came up with quiz nights, which I think is a phenomenal way to actually ground people and get them together, communicating, especially families, and interacting in this day and age. It's so important. So that's beautiful. All right, Cassidy, tell us about your businesses, because I want the audience to understand the scope of what you can actually offer. So let's start with CP Sounds, so they know exactly what that is first.
Okay, great. So CP Sounds is mainly an event management business, event and production managing business. And what we have been doing is managing weddings, birthday parties, media launches, comedy shows, music festivals. We've been doing music festivals as well. So we've worked with a whole bunch of different artists. So we do artist management as well as putting the whole festival together. So that includes, meeting with the city, going through medic plans, how meeting with the safety officer, being on site when everything's being set up and erected and put together, and being there when everything's taken down as well. So it is. That part of the business is quite labor intensive and quite hectic, but it's so much fun when you see everything come together. Like I said earlier, I love that part of it, seeing everything kind of come together and everyone started enjoying it and dancing and just having a good time. And then the other part of the business, so including within that, we also do corporate end of years. So we work with other agencies that then bring us in and say, okay, what we offer is we offer the decor, the entertainment, and the DJ and sound and lighting. So for those agencies, that's they use us for that, which is amazing. So we have a very cool relationship with them. And then on the other side of it, we also do social media content creation as well as social media management in CB Sounds, as well as PR. So what we've kind of done, it started within CP Sounds, but we've kind of migrated it from there. So CP Sounds is the umbrella, and we've created CP Online from CP Sounds, where PR and social media and content creation, admin, personal virtual assistant actually as well. So all of those admin related things are all included in CP Online. So that's the one. And we've worked with cool artists. I know. When I started the business, it was only going to be one thing, and then it just snowballed. So it's amazing, and we're blessed. So I'm happy to take on more as much as we can. But the CP sound side of things, we've worked with some really cool artists. I mean, we've worked with Bobby van Jaarsveld. Ian Bread and Cup Media is one of our clients, and we do all his music festivals, and Alana Africa Bread and Cup as well, and her game we've worked with. Yeah, so we've done some really cool stuff, and obviously this year has just been a mashup, should we say? So it's been really missing that events, that personal connection, and being on site and doing things and walking through and just seeing everything kind of a vision come together. So we really are missing that. Yeah. But then I've created Jelly and Custard, which is a virtual kiddies birthday party supplier business. And what we do is we offer personalized, everything is very personal on the Jelly and Custard front. We offer party boxes that are personally put together to the parents' needs. So for instance, we just did a party this past weekend, and the parents had all the kids that were going to be part of the party virtually. We set up the link, we did an invite for them, they then sent it out to their friends, and everyone links up on that link that we then shared with the invite. And all the kids then get a personalized party box. So for instance, if the one child is 4 years old, she would get something that's personalized for a 4-year-old. And if the other one is only 3 months, they would get something that's personal for a 3-month-old. Not everyone would get a blanket, offering. So for instance, the one would get flings, the other might get popcorn, the other might get Play-Doh, the other might get a teething ring. It all depends on what age the kids are and what the parents' preferences are. And then we also do the themes. So along with the party boxes, we do smash cakes, themed cupcakes, themed biscuits. We offer vegan options as well. So that's banoffees and St. Anna's and blueberries and strawberries and all those kinds of things, those yummy things. And then entertainment is also part of it. So once the families all link up on the link, we have an educator that then comes on, and she does like a sing-song with the kids. Again, it all depends on their age. So if they're, littles, lots of sing-songs and making noises, that's the thing. If they're a little bit older, maybe it's something like doing finger paints or, canvas painting and just like, jamming with the paintbrush. Whatever suits the age, the edutainer would then offer as well. So it's a bit of an all-rounder, also making sure that families stay safe and kids stay safe and just stay at home and have everything delivered within the COVID regulations to each of the homes.
Wow, it's amazing. And that's, again, just really just hones in on your organizational skills when it comes to that, Cassidy, because that takes a lot of organization. I mean, especially in a party, and in families, if one is 12 and the other one is 6 and there's a little baby, you've got to accommodate for all of that. So, wow, how do you actually cope when it comes to things like that?
I actually really enjoy it. I think I'm a little bit of a freak, so I really enjoy stuff like this. This is, I like making lists, and I love sourcing things and finding out, and I mean, I don't have any kids yet, so I try and also understand from a parent's point of view what they would like, what they don't like. And for instance, like why we're offering the vegan option is because my husband was vegan, so I also know that kids have allergies. You have to kind of keep abreast of what's going on, because I don't have kids, so it's not like I could lean on my own skills in that regard. So again, what I did was I actually asked a lot of friends that have kids, friends of ours that have a 3-year-old and another has a baby that just turned 1. And they were both saying they are not sending their kids back to school. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do that. And then I started thinking about and that's kind of where it all started. And I thought, okay, but his birthday's coming up in October. And she's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to do anything. And then I bounced it off another friend, like, okay, so you have this kid, your kid's 3. What do you think of this? Just to see, again, just sharing and being open with people and asking them, would you do something like this? And they were like, yes, 100%. So, I mean, balloons, everything, the works, whatever they need, I kind of make sure that they get it. And I really enjoy that part of it. And I mean, this past weekend, we delivered each of the boxes. So we deliver them, obviously, with our masks and everything. But the one little girl was actually standing outside the door, at the one drop off. So they live in a complex. And that's why, I think that's why I do it, because it's so, I like to see the joy in their faces. They're just so excited. And as I jumped out the car, I had the balloons, off the party box, and she's standing outside like, so I said, hi, morning. She's like, oh, is that for me? And then she's so excited, and she was the one getting all the Play-Dohs and all the goodies. She was the eldest one. And so she was just so fascinated with these balloons. And I think that's just bringing joy and just seeing that the parents aren't, having to do all the effort and all the work. Because I know that sometimes it can be difficult being a full-time parent or being in office and still having to organize these things. So I just really enjoy it. I'm a little weird like that.
Yeah. No, but I don't think it's weird, because you are that. You want to bring happiness to people who are not experiencing it at the moment. And that's why when you first opened Jelly and Custard, I'll never forget, when I went to the website, I was like, wow, Cassidy, this is something. I mean, really, this is so smart. And I think that's why I appreciate you, because you literally think smartly when it comes to business. And not even a lockdown actually had your spirits down, or your creative juices down at all. You kind of went right overboard and you did it. And I think that's exactly it. That's who you are. You encompass that happiness, and it's that happiness that you want to share with other people that really, really makes your business. I'm telling you, it does. Awesome.
Thank you. Really.
Okie dokies. My pleasure. It's been so nice chatting to you. All right, I see that we don't have anyone asking any questions. So I'm going to ask you, if you are watching a replay of this video, just to hashtag the word replay down below. And again, if you found, I beg your pardon, if you found this video of any value for you, please go ahead and share it with friends or colleagues that, this kind of information might help them. Not only that, is I would like to invite you to go and have a look online. Just go search for Jelly and Custard. You can go straight to the actual website, which is www.jellyandcustard.coza.
Yeah, that's the one.
.coza, and go and have a look at that, because it's really out there, and it's quite a novelty to have, especially if you have youngsters that are experiencing lockdown and they don't know what to do for their birthday. I know that you operate predominantly in the Cape Town area, so if you are in Cape Town and you're looking for a party space or someone that can coordinate everything, Cassidy is the gal. Believe you me. Not only, also go and have a look across social media as well. This is such a wonderful, it's really upbeat, it's very fresh, it's very geared for kids. And if you don't really know what to do with the kids, even if it's not their birthday, I found that Cassidy is sharing on the Jelly and Custard social media handles really some clever games that you can play at home with the kiddies, just to keep them occupied as well, if they do tend to be a bit bored. So go and do that. Also, CP Online, which operates under CP Sounds, and that again you can find out online, www.cpsounds.coza, and go and have a look with regards to the event side and the entertainment side and all of the other things that Cassidy has mentioned in this video. All right, Cassidy, let's start wrapping it up. I'm going to thank you once again for appearing on this live stream. I know that this particular subject, this is kind of close to my heart, especially using technology and really making it your own. But I love the fact that you pulled creativeness into the mix, and the way that you've cleverly set up a lot of your businesses, even though you weren't going to kind of be in front of a crowd, you really made your businesses work for what you're doing. And again, I just need to really testify with regards to your organizational skills. They are on par. The creativeness, the way that you've used all of the technology is really smart. So I'm going to leave you with the last word for today, please.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of pressure. For me, I think there's a saying that I've heard a few people say before, is that as an entrepreneur, you need to obviously do the business for you and do what works for you, believe in yourself, but know that no one else is coming. It's on you. So you need to make it happen. You need to make it work. Do your research, use your mobile phone. If you need free Wi-Fi, go to the free Wi-Fi spots, make use of them, have a coffee as well to support that small business, and and just believe in yourself and share your ideas. Don't just hate and keep it all to yourself. And by sharing, you actually spark more ideas and your business will grow more and more and more. And thank you so much, Lucille, again for this opportunity. Really enjoyed it.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. So just to round it off, like Cassie says, the number one thing that you've got to do is believe in yourself, believe in your brand, believe in what you are offering the world, and then be resourceful. Just like she has, she very smartly has her business, even through the lockdown, very smartly online, and use the resources in order to get in front of people. And lastly, as Cassidy has said, is when you believe in yourself, those talents, they start to shine through. So thank you once again. Thank you for joining us today. Like I said, if you are watching the replay, go ahead and just hashtag the word replay so we can see that you are. And thank you for joining us as the audience. And thank you, Cassidy, once again. It's been awesome.
Thank you, Lucille. Have a fantastic day.
Awesome. You too. Cheers, everyone. Bye. Okie dokie.